Hi, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your December 2022 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic cross spread as always, and also pulled the 4 agreements, wisdom, oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. I'm actually going to start the reading off my Roman astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have Scorpio, and for you guys, Scorpio is your 4th house of home and family. At the time recording this, we're technically still in Scorpio season 2, but yeah, can just be saying that you have a lot of focus around your family this month and your home environment in general. We have Uranus, and Uranus has been in Taurus for quite some time. We just had that full moon eclipse in Taurus recently that was pretty much conjunct Uranus. But yeah, 10th house energy for you guys, which is related to career and social status. So you might be going through some shifts there. And we also have 2. So 2nd house energy for you guys is Virgo. Astrologically speaking, there's not really anything going on there, but that's related to possession, self-worth, finances. All right, so we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 10 of Wands. And then challenging that, we have the 9 of Wands. So both of these are Sagittarius energies here. And to me, this could just be saying that you might really be overworking yourselves in some way. And possibly due to a fear that if you don't, you'll fall behind, right? So you might feel like there's someone on your heels around the situation that, oh, if I take a day off here, then I'll fall behind, right? So it could just be one of those things where you might be overworking yourselves. Probably have a goal in mind at the very least, but it could just be one of those things where you could just be trying to take on too much right now. All right, in the foundation position, we have the 6 of Swords. So this usually represents moving to calmer environments around the situation, so maybe you might find that this is actually a good way for you to distract yourselves from something else going on in your lives, right? So for example, maybe if your love life isn't going too well, then you might distract yourself by throwing more energy into your work life, right? Just super generic example for how that could be playing out. But yeah, so this might have started out as something where it might have been a source of peace for you, right? Because maybe there was a little bit of turmoil in another area of life, but now it could just be one of those things where it's gone a bit overboard at this point. You might not necessarily be aware of that. All right, in the past position, we have the Ace of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. So, and for some of you, what this could just be doing too is maybe compensating for a situation in the past that you might have passed up on, right? So maybe you got this opportunity for something in the past. You might have gone back and forth on whether or not you wanted to take the opportunity, and in the process, the opportunity might have been lost, right? So it could just be one of those things where now that's still in your mind. So now you're at that point where you're like, okay, never again, right? I'm not going to let any opportunity pass me by. All right. In the present position, we have the 6 of Wands. So at the very least, this is an indicator that you must be doing something right? Because this is an energy of receiving recognition around something. So this could be whatever you are working on, right? And at the same time, the irony there could be that it could just be saying that you're working so heavily on it that you might not even realize that you're getting that praise and that recognition because you're just so singularly focused on that goal right now. All right, in the near future position, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So Capricorn energy here, and what I feel like this could be saying for some of you is it might be best to at least look into collaborating with someone, right? That could possibly get you further faster. So yeah, and possibly even delegating some things, right? So if you're in a position of leadership, let's say, right, it could just be saying that instead of feeling like you need to take everything on, like, oh, they made me their leader because I do X, Y, Z, it could just be saying well, maybe you could look into at least teaching someone how to help you, right? If you feel like, oh, I don't know if they're ready for this level of responsibility, right? Then it could just be saying that, okay, well, you could take them under your wing and show them, right? But at the same time, then you could feel more confident in trusting them with some of those responsibilities too. All right, in a position of your influence on the situation, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So yeah, I feel like this is saying that for a lot of you, this might be a blind spot for you, at least at this time, right? So could just be saying that as all this is going on, you might not be connecting the dots there, right? To where you might feel really worn down and tired, but you're not necessarily seeing that because you're overworking yourselves, right? Or you might not see that, oh, you know what, I could actually have this person around my immediate environment help me out with this stuff, right? So it could just be one of those things there. If that's the case, this might be an energy that might last for you guys until, let's say, January, because that's when we'll have a full moon in Cancer, which is your 12th house, and that could bring the situation to light. All right. In the environment position, we have the Eight of Wands. So yeah, this could just, again, more Sagittarius energy here, and it could just be saying that there's a lot going on around you, right? So that could be possibly even, again, like maybe this is your, oddly enough, if there's a lot of chaos in your environment, you might find that, okay, the work that I do is the one way that I can quiet my mind a little bit, right? Where I could just really focus on that and not worry about all the chaos going on around me. But for others, you just could just be saying that this is why you are working at the level you are too, right? Because you're afraid that, again, like I said, that you lose ground. Like, hey, everyone else around me is working, so if I take a day off here, a day off there, I'm going to fall behind. All right, and the hopes or fears position, we have the Emperor. So yeah, for some of you, this could just be a hope, right? That this is you're hoping to aspire to. Maybe you're hoping to get some kind of a promotion within your work environment, for example, right? So, and maybe this is how you see yourself too, to where I was saying, you might feel a little bit of guilt for asking someone to help you out with something, right? There might be a little bit of guilt around delegating, where you're like, oh, they put me in this leadership position, so I need to take all this on myself, right? So that could be the more negative way that could play out for you guys. And in the outcome position, we have the Fool. So yeah, now I do have to say, seeing this in the outcome is definitely a positive thing, and for a couple reasons. Maybe this is saying that you do finally reach that goal, right? So maybe you almost overexert yourself because okay, I'm close to the finish line here. So you're probably possibly really grinding away at this. Like, okay, I know if I really push hard, I could get it done by the end of the year, right? Then I could start January feeling nice and refreshed. So for some of you, that's what this could be pointing to. For others, you could just be saying that you might just find a way to lighten your load in another way. You're just like, okay, you know what? I need to just step away from work for a little bit and hit the reset button. But either way, it looks like you're going to be feeling pretty refreshed as we get to the end of December, which is definitely a positive thing. All right. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, for a lot of you, maybe this was a bit more of a financially motivated thing, right? So you're like, okay, I really want to reach this goal, right, by the end of the year. So this is what I'm going to do. Especially because for you guys, Virgo is your second house of finances, and we did see that come up in the dice as well. So, but of course, this would be an indicator that you will be making some progress toward that this month. And as far as why you might feel like you can't necessarily take some time off, could just be because whatever this environment that you're working in could just be very competitive. All right, so moving on to your 4 agreements card, we have don't make assumptions, communicate with clarity. Okay, it says communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. If all humans would communicate with impeccability of the word, all of our relationships would change. There would be no wars, no violence, no misunderstandings. Well, it might be a bit of an excessive assessment of the situation, but yeah, speaking of communicate clearly, I will say there will actually be a retrograde, Mercury retrograde toward the end of December too, so just be mindful of that, especially with the holidays coming up, right? Okay, moving on to your Wisdom of the Oracle card, we have Co-Create. There's the artwork and the numbers 40. So yeah, this might be another indicator that, like I said, maybe collaborating in some way might be a good way forward for you, but we'll see what it says. Okay, essential meanings. It says creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, manifestation. The Oracle's message. You may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact you are creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with Spirit, Consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thought and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that co-creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality blended with universal spirit. You are a product of divine inspiration, and now you're aligned with it to create miracles. When you view your life as art and know you co-created, only beauty and grace result. Prepare to be amazed. So yeah, definitely pretty positive message there. And then the relationship message says connections of the heart serve to inspire you, opening you up to new ideas you never would have come to on your own. You are looking in a mirror held up by this experience and seeing yourself in an unexpected way. Who is this extraordinary being looking back at you? You are going to be so happy that you kept your heart open. Your love is a unique work of art now, the very embodiment of beauty. I do have to say, I didn't really see this as much of a partnership type of reading, but for those of you looking for some insight on that, hopefully it resonated. I did just put up the mid-November love readings too, if you want to look at that. Let's see. The prosperity message says flashes of inspiration give rise to great success when you receive this message. You are at your most creative now, and wherever you apply yourself to will lead to the fruition of your dreams. Remember that all your ideas are channeled from a higher source. You create your reality in partnership with Spirit. The potential for manifestation is unlimited now. Revel in its vastness. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there too. And seeing that Fool card there, like I said, for some of you, this could just be pointing to you will have some success around this goal that you're pushing toward. All right, and lastly we have a Mudra card. So this is your Mudra here. It's the Garuda Mudra, and the keyword for it is maturity. Okay, there we go. Got everything in the frame. Under benefits, it says improves intelligence, increases digestive fire, activates Manipur chakra, builds martial prowess, and according to legend, serves as protection against snakes, snake bites, and venom in general. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, I'll put the name in the description below as always. Hope you guys have a good holiday season. I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.